Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So I was thinking that this week I'm gonna be swapping my screen time for reading once again because last week, like the last 3 days, I mean one of them I didn't read at all and the other two I barely read because I was at my friend's place. So I am a little behind on my reading and I have barely started the book that I need to get done until either Wednesday or Thursday. So I need to read and I want to read, but I get very easily distracted. Like if I challenge myself to do something, then I am more likely to actually do it. So we are gonna be doing that again. And so today, Monday, May 8th, we have to read for, I mean me, I have to read for 3 hours and 45 minutes. And that is definitely more than I usually read. And the other time I did this, the time for each day was very different. Because like one day I had like 5 hours and the other day I had like 2 hours and then 5 hours and like 2 hours. And this week I feel like it's more uniform. Except for Saturday, which is only 1 hour and 26, because Saturday was the day that I was like fully at my friend's place, so I barely used my phone. But apart from that, it's always like around 3-4 hours. So again, more than I usually read. But my main goal for this week is definitely to read Caliban's War, because this is the book that I need to get done by Wednesday or Thursday, because I want to do a reading vlog for it that will be up on Friday. And I'm only on page 34 because I just started reading it last night when I got back from my friend's place and I was very tired. So even though I did really like what happened in these 30 pages, like I am very intrigued in what the hell is going on, I was just so tired, like I could not keep going. And then I am 132 pages into Babel. And I mean, I am reading this one like slowly on purpose, but I mean, I want to finish it anyway because I am really, really liking it. And then last week I started a like dystopian post-apocalyptic zombie series, and I've read the first two books and I'm really loving that series. So I also want to read the third. I mean, I don't know if I want to read the fourth like at all, because I just realized that the fourth is like happening at the same time as the first one, like the same events. So I'm just like, is it from another person's POV? And like, do I want to read that? So yeah, I don't know about that, but definitely we'll read Caliban's War. I would love to finish Babel. I want to read the third book in that series, which is called Blackout. And then we will see. But those are the main plans. And I'm gonna be reading for 3 hours and 45 minutes at least. And yeah, welcome to this vlog. Okay, so yesterday in the intro, I was kind of rushed because it was already pretty late and I wanted to start reading and I forgot to mention some things. And the first thing is that just like the first time I did this challenge, I am gonna take out like half of my YouTube time, because half of it I just, I am looking at the screen, but other half is probably like background music for reading. And I'm also obviously gonna take out the time of like my audiobook app, because again, I am reading, and also the camera time. So that is something I wanted to mention. And I also said that this week is always like 3-4 hours. That is not true. It's more like 2:30 to 3:30. It never really reaches 4 hours. I think on Friday is the day that I have to read the most, and it's 3 hours and 50 something minutes. So it's all around like 2:30 to 3:30. And like 230 is pretty average to what I kind of tend to read. But any more than that, and I'm just like, this is a lot of reading. But anyway, I got to page 200, I think. Yeah, I got to page 200, and I don't think I said, or maybe I did, I don't even know, but this is the second book in the Expanse series, which is a space opera science fiction series. And in this series, the entire like solar system has been colonized. There are people living like in almost every single planet and every single like moon, and we are mainly following, like in this series, a guy called Holden and his space crew. In this specific book, there has been like an attack of some sort of creature that we don't still know exactly like what it is. I mean, we don't know what it is at all, but we might have a theory as to how it was created, like how it is related to something, and actually something that happened in book one. And I mean, I wasn't sure if it was going to be connected to the story of the first book, but it seems that it might be. And we are following actually 4 POVs, which is more than I expected, but I do really like all of them. And yeah, I'm having fun. I am 1/3 into this. And I mean, my main goal yesterday was to get to page 200 of this, so definitely happened. And having a lot of fun. And then I got 41% into Blackout, and I am liking this, but I feel like I am not liking it as much as the first 2 books in the series. And in this one, we are following 2 POVs, and in the first 2 books, we only followed one. I mean, they were different POVs, but we only followed one. And in this one, we are following 2 different POVs, and I am just way more interested in one of them than the other. So when we are in one of the POVs, I'm just like, can we move on? Like, I want to get to the other person. And I feel like that is contributing to me not enjoying this as much, because like one part of the book is so like intriguing and so fun, and I am so interested. And the other POV, I'm just like, I mean, okay, sure, that's interesting, I guess, but can we not focus on that? And like, those are the biggest chapters. The POV I'm the least interested in is the one with the longest chapters. So I am liking it. I am still like, I want to know what is happening. I want to see how these characters end up. But yeah, I'm not loving it as much as I thought I would. So like I said, definitely I met my goal. And once I was like 220 pages in yesterday, I was like, I'm done. But I still had an hour and a half to go. So yeah, but I mean, I did it. I read 376 pages. So again, that is definitely more than my goal, but I am happy with, because I am liking everything that I'm reading. I'm just not like loving it, but still, it's a fun time. And yeah, I achieved my goal. I think I read 3 hours and 47 minutes, because that's just when the chapter ended, and I don't like stopping in the middle of chapters. And so yeah, day 1 is complete. And so for today, I have to read 2 hours and 28 minutes, which, like I said, is very average for what I tend to read. And so I have the goal of reading 200 pages of this. And whatever time I have left, I'll read some more of Blackout, but I don't think I'll have much time left, because yesterday I read it like about 100 pages per hour, so I would have less than half an hour to read of this. But either way, I am feeling like, I'm not feeling the pressure today, because it's just the normal I read, like I said. So let's get it done. Oh, also, before I go, in the beginning I was saying that I didn't have any other reading plans apart from like these books. I think I said that. And Babel. But that is a lie, because for the video of this book, I also have to read 2 novellas, because they are the like books 2.5 and 2.7 in the series. So I will read those as well after I finish Caliban's War. So those are the plans. Okay, so I have gotten to page 402 of Caliban's War, and I am actually liking it much more now than I was in the beginning. And I mean, I was liking it, but not as much as book one in the series or as much as I expected. And now I am liking it a lot more. And we have gotten more connections to book one, which I also really enjoyed. And I'm having a great time with this. And then I got to 59% of Blackouts. And I continue to like one POV much more than the other, but like towards the end of what I read yesterday, like the big thing that we have been waiting since the beginning happened. And so I am excited because I think now like everything is going to be interesting. Like both POVs are going to be hopefully equally as interesting. And so I am very excited for that. And yeah, I read for 2 hours and I think 33 minutes, which was very doable. It was maybe a little more than I read typically, but it was still very much doable. And again, I achieved my goal, which was just getting to page 400 of this, and anything that I read on this one was a bonus. So yeah, day 2 complete. And so today I will have to read for 3 hours and 11 minutes. And again, the main plan is to finish this, which I will because I have, I think, 193. Yeah, that sounds right. 193 pages left. So I will definitely finish this. And then I think I will probably read the 2 novellas. One is 70 pages long and the other is 30. So basically 100 pages. And yeah, I will read those because if I read those today, I can film tomorrow and I don't have to be rushing everything on Friday, which is the goal. So I will do that. And I don't know if I have any time left after reading 300 pages, but if I do, I will just use the extra time to read Blackouts. Because like I said, I am getting very excited now. And yeah, this second time I'm doing this challenge, it's definitely being easier because I have less time to read. And so it's less of a challenge and more of just a trying to focus on reading because like I said, I get distracted very easily. And if I have a timer on, my brain's like, you have to actually read. And it works. It fucking works. So anyway, I will read all of the things that I said I would, and I will get back to you tomorrow with the results. Hello. So yesterday was kind of a struggle, not because I had a lot of time to read, but because... Okay, so I was editing this and I was confused. And I mean, you can see from my face that I was confused. But what I wanted to say was that a new song by 30 Seconds to Mars had come out like 2 days ago. And then the rest, I think I said, okay. And so yesterday I was just like obsessing with the band all over again and like listening to every song of them in existence. And that's like all I wanted to do. And so I was just like, you know, I have 3 hours to read, but I can like start at 11 p.m. because like, why not? So yeah, it was a struggle, but I got it done. And so I finished Caliban's War and I definitely enjoyed like the last third the most. And the end, like we were getting like such a satisfying conclusion and then everything went crazy like at the very end. And yeah, also like one thing that I'm still confused, like how that is possible, but it definitely got me very excited to continue with the series. So I will be doing that hopefully sometime soon. But yeah, this was fun. I gave it 4 stars And then I read the two novellas, which were Gods of Risk. And in that one, we followed. What the fuck? And in that one, we followed the nephew of a character from Caliban's War. And what is happening? And he was dealing with a drug dealer, and also he had like a friend in trouble, and we were just seeing him navigate all of that. And I mean, it was fun. I gave it 3 stars. And the other was called Drive, and that one was set 150 years before like the start of the series, and it was just like the invention of something very big that allowed the world to be the way it is, and like the guy behind it, and just kind of his story. And I mean, I do appreciate that we got to see how the thing was created, but also I didn't really care about the guy or his life or his love life or anything about him really. So I mean, it was okay, and I give it 2.5 stars. And then I got 70% into Blackout. And I am sad to report that, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it because I read like 10%. But I'm sad to report that it hasn't gotten as exciting as I was expecting it to. And yeah, I don't know like why I'm not liking this as much as the first 2 books. But like, they were so unhinged and insane. And it's not that this one isn't, but I don't think it's reaching that level of insanity. And yeah, I mean, I am liking it, but I'm just not obsessed with it like I was with the other 2. But what matters is I have once again reached my reading goal because I finished this and I read the 2 novellas. So yay me, I guess.
Yay me!
And yeah, day 3 complete. And so today I have 2 hours and 55 minutes to read, and I mean, I still have to, I just finished filming my video for Caliban's War and all of that, so I need to edit that. And am I looking forward to that? I am not, but I will. And I will finally finish this goddamn book because it has been the lowest priority the whole week, but it is now the main priority. And so I will finish this finally. And once again, I mean, I hope it will be unhinged at the end, because that is what I'm here for. And then I will finally get back to Babel, which is just there, sitting there, waiting for me. And yeah, I will get back to that, which will definitely like slow my reading speed, because I am like listening to the audiobook at the same time, because it has footnotes and I never see the goddamn asterisk. And so in the audiobook, the narrator obviously reads the footnotes like where they belong, and it's a different narrator for the footnotes, so like you know it's a footnote. So like I need all the help I can get, and it's so slow. Like that audiobook is so slow for some reason. Like I usually listen to audiobooks at 3 times speed, because that is like, it's pretty similar to my reading speed, is just like a little slower, but like nothing that bothers me. So when I do have an audiobook, I listen to 3 times speed, and that's fine. But this one is just so goddamn slow for some reason. But like I said, I need all the help that I can get. And I mean, I do like the narrator. He's just slow. So those are the plans. I will finish this. I will read that. And I mean, not all of that, but some of that. And yeah, that's it. I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay, so yesterday I finally finished Blackout, and it definitely got more unhinged and crazier and just like what I wanted from it towards the end. And we also got to see a character that we hadn't seen since book one, and I actually really liked him, so it was nice to see him as well. And yeah, I mean, I liked the ending more than the rest of the book, but it was still not as fun as the first two in the series, and I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Not sure, but that feels right. And then I got to page 314 of Babel, and it continues to be amazing. And I mean, this writing is just incredible. Like, almost all of my pink tabs are just times that the writing is like so good. And it's always good. Like, the whole book, the writing is amazing, but there are just some times that I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's amazing. And it obviously doesn't have a fast moving plot like I usually tend to like in books. But I mean, I knew that going into it. So it's not bothering me, but it's also not like my favorite kind of book. But apart from that, I am loving everything. And still, when they're just talking about the translation, I like even that I really like. And I never thought I would learn so much about translation as I'm learning here. And it also continues to break my heart. And I mean, if there's like one thing that I would complain about, and I do love to complain, so I will, is that these chapters are so goddamn long. They are so long, and especially like listening to the audiobook, like I said, the audiobook is like slow and it just takes so long to read a single chapter. But anyway, we did it. We got through yesterday's time, which was 3 hours around that. So day 4 complete. And today I will finish this. I have around 4 hours. I don't know like the exact amount, but it's around 4 hours. And I have 3 hours left of the audio. I mean, 9, but like 3 at my speed. And again, it's like 3 hours for a little over 200 pages. So it's just so much slower than what I read. But like I said, I need the audiobook's help for the footnotes and everything. And I mean, it's also nice because they speak in different languages. So it's nice to just hear them, especially when it's like a language I'm not familiar with. So, you know, it's just nice to have. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it is so windy outside. Like, I can see the trees almost falling apart. But like I was saying, it's nice to hear, especially when it's a language I'm not familiar with. So, and the footnotes. I need the audiobook for the footnotes as well. So I will finish this and I will still have 1 hour left. And honestly, I have absolutely no idea what I want to read, because once I read this, I will have finished my reading plans for this week. So I have no idea what I will read, but I will come up with something and I will talk to you tomorrow. And oh, also, yesterday I was saying that like I started reading at 11 p.m. and obviously that means I finish reading after like midnight. So I mean, technically I'm not reading in that specific day, but also I prefer to read at night. And for me, if like before I sleep is still the same day. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And now let's get reading for 4 hours. Today is the longest day and I am scared. I am scared. Hi. So, yesterday I finished Babel, and look at the amount of tabs I have in this book. I think this is my most tabbed book. And the end of this was so intense. And I mean, it was all intense in terms of like emotions, but the end was intense in terms of emotions and plot. And yeah, I mean, it was a lot. And just like the writing, it's so beautiful that just makes everything even more sad. And also, I loved the main character so much, which also made everything obviously more sad because I care so much about him. Because, I mean, even if I didn't particularly care about any person, it would still be horrible, like the things that were happening. But because I cared specifically about a few people, it was even worse. And yeah, I mean, it was amazing, but I am giving it 4.5 stars. But like, this is a personal preference thing. Like I said, it was slower than I would have liked, than I like usually prefer my books. But again, that is just a me thing. Like, I'm the problem, not the book, because this is absolutely incredible. And yeah, I mean, I really, really loved it, but it just wasn't perfect for me because it was just a little slower than I would have liked. But yeah, I finished Babel. And I mean, I finished like at a reasonable time for once. And then like I took a break because I had just finished a book, a very emotional book. So I needed a second. And then, time went by, and then I just finished reading at 3:30 a.m. Yeah, and I mean, it's not because I needed that long of a break, but remember when I said that like I was obsessed with 30 Seconds to Mars again? Well, I'm back in my Shannon Leto era because like drummers are my weakness, and yeah. But I did read, and I got to 22% of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And this is a fantasy romance that I have been seeing everywhere. Like, everyone's been reading this book. And I do read fantasy all the time, but I don't really read romance because, like, when I do, 95% of the time, I don't like it because I guess I just don't care about love. But why am I reading this, you may ask? Because what I heard about it is that it has vampires and it has sort of a Hunger Games-ish contest, and that sounds really fun. And I mean, so far, I am actually really liking it because like the romance has not started. So I mean, it can still go either way, but so far it's like brutal, which I'm loving. And I really like the main character as well. And so far, like, we've had one contest. There are like 5 phases, I guess. We had the first one, and it was fun. It was violent. There's also like another character that I really like, and I like his relationship with the main character. And like, not romantic relationship, but I don't know if I can trust him because I feel like I can't trust anybody in this book. So there's that. But yeah, I am so far pleasantly surprised. And I mean, we have met the love interest, I'm pretty sure, but like no romance has started yet. And so yeah, I finished at 3:30, but I did finish it. And so today is the shortest day, so I can just indulge in my obsessions in peace. And I only have to read for 1 hour and 26 minutes. So, I mean, I will be spending that time reading this. I will get maybe 50% into it. Sounds about right. So, yeah, I mean, those are the plans. Not a lot to say for today. So let's just read for 1 hour and a half. Okay, so I did in fact get to 55% of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And I realized I didn't really say what this book was about. And I mean, like I said, everyone has been reading it. But in case you don't know, we are following Oraya, and she is a human, but she is the adopted daughter of the Vampire King. And so she lives in the vampire world. And so she's, constantly in danger because she's the only human amongst the vampires. And so she is going to be part of a tournament that is called the Kejari, I think. And that tournament is held by the goddess of death. And whoever wins can get a wish granted by the goddess. So Oraya knows that that is the only way for her to, finally be stronger, to fit in the world of vampires, not have to be afraid all the time. And so she is competing in that. And while she is competing, she has to align with some people. And one of them is the love interest. And the romance has sort of started, but not really, because nothing has happened, just feelings, I guess. And I'm pretty neutral about it. So, again, so far so good. I am enjoying the tournament. It is, like I think I said before, it is brutal and it is fun in a way. And yeah, I'm enjoying the vampire-ness of the book. I am also enjoying, like I said, the tournament and the different things that they have to do. And I really like the main character. And yeah, so far so good. I am really enjoying it. And so another day complete. And today is Sunday and it is the last day of this challenge. And I have to read it's around 2.5 hours. So the plan is to finish this book. I feel like the time is right to be enough to finish this. And I shouldn't have time left, or at least not a lot of it. I hope I don't, because again, I don't know what to read next, because my plans for this week, they have been finished, so I don't really know what else I'm gonna read. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this, and if I still have time, I will surely come up with something. And then tomorrow I will wrap up the vlog and tell you how much I read in terms of pages and hours and all of that. And yeah, let's get into our final day. Okay, so it is Monday and it's the end of this weekly reading vlog. And yesterday I finished The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I really liked it. And towards the end, there were 3 plot twists slash reveals, and 2 of them I kind of saw coming. One of them I was pretty sure what happened. The second I was not as sure, but I kind of saw it coming as well. But that's not exactly a problem, because I liked that they happened. Not that they were good things, but they definitely made the story more interesting. But the third reveal I did not see coming, but not that I know it, it explains a lot. And yeah, I really, really liked it, but I ended up finishing it with still 40 minutes to go. So I had to start another book, and I started on Harrow Hill, and this is the 7th? Maybe the 7th book in the Dave Gurney series, which is a mystery thriller detective series. And we follow Dave Gurney, who is a retired detective, but he always goes back to whatever case someone asks him to work on. And I went into this one not knowing anything about the plot, but from what I gathered so far, I am 18% in. And basically, an old partner of Gurney asks him to help in the case that he's working on right now. And like basically, like someone was killed, and all the evidence points to someone who is dead. Like there are fingerprints, there is blood, and they all point to someone who is dead. So, they can't really be the killer. So yeah, that sounds very interesting. And so far, I mean, I'm in the beginning, so not many thoughts, but so far I am also enjoying it. And yeah, that is the end of the challenge. And so this week I read for 20 hours and 45 minutes, and I read 2,201 pages, which is like double of what I usually read in a week. But I mean, I'm happy that I read that much. I definitely have caught up on what I wanted to read and like even read more than what I wanted to read this week. So I am definitely happy with that because I mean, my TBR is like infinite. So, I will never run out of books that I want to read. But yeah, that is everything for this weekly reading vlog. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!